All right.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Nope, we're already rolling. You don't say here we go.
Oh, okay. And
You stole my hat. Look at that.
yes, I did.
Looks good. Look at Austin flat billing.
flat
billing it up.
Yeah, LS Fest did this to me.
LS Fest. LS Fest 2023.
Yeah.
So we just got back. Let's see. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a full week since we got back. Yeah, I have a mohawk. What? Get out
Yeah,
of
I
town.
was gonna say something about that. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, it's called product. I got in there, aka glue. It's like a glue. But anyways, that's wrong. That's messed up. Anyways, recap on LS Fest. So, dudes,
A lot happened.
we've been like kind of thrashing prior to get our cars ready for LS Fest because we entered the drag race test and tune deal.
Grudge
and
test and tune.
grudge test and tune. And well, we did it. That was a experience.
That was.
Yeah, and honestly, if it wasn't for Kevin and Steve,
Seriously.
like, dude,
We wouldn't
have went down the track without those two.
Yeah.
So,
Or just we would have red lit every time we went up there.
yeah, like, I mean, he was good. I was I was Shake City.
Oh,
My legs were Shake City going up there. All right. I'm gonna tell you this. If I give you guys any advice, if you're planning on going down the drag strip at all, don't do it at an event where there's thousands of people watching you. Thousands of cars.
Yeah.
And you have to hurry. Don't do that. That was the biggest.
Yeah, because they're sending cars through like boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom,
and you're
boom,
like,
boom,
shit,
and you're like,
I hope I don't break. Oh man, I hope I turn my other fuel pump on. I hope my power's on. I hope my fan's on. I hope I don't blow my motor.
I hope I analog.
Dude, yeah, I missed that. I had my pass, so I had one pass, all right? And, well, I'll tell you, I left the line like I would leave a light in my truck, okay? So slow.
Yeah.
But I went an 11.4, but that car trapped 132 in the quarter. That was pretty good. And then Austin went, how many times did you run? You
I
ran
ran 5 times.
5 times. So, and what did you run?
Well-
You ran, so first pass, let's go over your first
My
pass.
first
Because he
pass.
ran a lot more than I did. He was good.
Yeah, my first pass is blew the coupler off on it, so I made a completely NA run, so that felt like nothing. But it was actually really, to be honest,
13.8 at
13.8,
97 mile an hour,
97.
no boost.
Yeah, it was. It felt like nothing, but it was. I'm glad that was my first run because it got my feet wet. Like it was just okay. This is what to expect. This is what to do, kind of thing. And then the next run, I think I did like a 11.8 or 11.7 at 100.
I think your next run, no, you did. Yeah, because you ran. Are you sure? I thought your second run was the best.
Because I ran 5. No, my third run. The third run was at night.
That's right.
That was my best run.
That's right.
So that second run was like 11.7, 11.8, something like that, like 119, 120, something like that. Which was good. I mean, I got better on that one, but then that night pass was where it was the best it felt. Obviously, it was cooler. It was better boost weather, and yeah, it launched better. And I had Steve and Kevin there at that one, so that helped me out big time.
We'll put that video up right now, by the way. Yeah!
But I still struggled a little bit in the staging process, but other than that, I mean, it launched good. It felt good going down the line. It took my breath away. So I mean, it was moving. But then at third gear, something we found out later on was like on every single pass I did third gear, at a certain point, it felt like my car just maintained speed. But I did 11.0 at 120 or 119.
It was 119, 11.0, which is
119, 11.0.
That's good.
11.0, 1.5. So I was like 1/10 or.
Like you would have ran a 10 if you.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. So we found out on the dyno that he had converter problems hardcore.
Yeah.
So we put his car on the dyno, and it got up to what 4,400 RPM.
42 was the peak RPM.
42 You got the 4200 on the graph or on the dyno, and then it just went like this, like straight down. And you can hear, I'll actually put that video up right now too. And as you can hear, it's like, whoa, and it just kind of tabletops. It's not hitting the limiter or anything. It's like struggling to get
And it
those
makes
RPMs
sense when my
up.
car never hit the limiter.
That's right, yeah, because I'm like, what are you talking about? I hit the limiter all the time. He can't hit the limiter. I see why. Like, there's something
Because
going on
the
with his
converter
converter.
wasn't letting it.
And it's
So-
not the tune. He's honestly got the same tune-up that I got in my car.
Yeah.
It's not the tune. But, and we definitely saw that with the dyno numbers. Because he made, at what, 4,200 or 4,200 RPM,
I made
he made
580.
he made 589 horse, but 720 foot-pounds of torque to the tire. Which, that's like, that's not right on a turbo LS. Like, honestly, if you would have went through that threshold, he would have been pushing about 800 horse, like easy, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about any normal turbo LS deal. Like, your power's here, your torque is right there behind
And
it
on
half
top
the time.
of it, that converter I have in it is good up to 800 horsepower. So if I'm blowing through it, I mean, am I over 800? I don't know. I mean, it's one of those.
I
things
personally
will not
think
know.
if that like, dude, our setups, they'll show numbers
Yeah.
past
Oh, yeah.
55.
For
Like
sure.
5,500. You didn't even get there.
I didn't even get there.
So you didn't even see, like,
No, I don't know.
we probably
where-
could have shattered the rods, baby.
Probably.
Who knows? But,
And I really believe I believe from me hurting the motor is due to that converter.
yeah, the converter, because honestly, Matt Happel, words of Matt Happel, how do you keep an LS alive? You keep it above 5,500. You
Keep it
keep
up
it
there.
upstairs. Like, you keep from bending a rod. Like, down low, like when you shift, say you're 6 grand, you shift and it goes, whoa, that's when you're putting the most stress on your rods. Like, and with him, it couldn't get past like 4,400 max,
It couldn't.
right?
It couldn't.
So he's making all that power, and it's like, it's just chilling there.
I
So
mean,
that motor's pissed off.
The first and second gear, I think I'd seen 61, 62. But when I got in the third, it would have been 52, 53 was like my max on the big end. And it just did not like to go over that. It would just stay there in flat top. Yeah, so like on my fourth pass, I blew a coupler again. That was kind of a battle too throughout the week, was just fighting couplers. But we found our little tricks to it and made it work.
Self-tappers!
Self tappers and those Zeus clamps for the win.
Yeah, for sure.
But fix those issues, and that's when that's when we put it in the dyno. Was after that morning pass. It was the next day, and that's when we found out that problem. And then I went for that last pass in half track. My screens were kind of flashing right at me, and I felt weird. I just let off of it, and no smoke, no nothing, but it just didn't feel right. So I got back to get this time slip from the pavilion that they had back there, and the whole motor is just shaking like that. I'm like, yeah, something's not right.
Clatter City.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't that loud when I got back to the get the time slip. But when I got back, the pit shut off, took off, and then they came over. Yeah, it didn't sound very happy. So we're gonna do some teardown and figure out what's going on. But I really don't think I heard it crazy. I wouldn't be shocked if I'm gonna be able to put just a rod and piston in it and it be okay. I'm gonna throw it in the square body.
That would be so good.
So that's what I'm hoping. I mean, if that's not the case and it's hurt, oh well. But it'd be cool if that was the case.
That would be awesome.
If I'm able to throw a rod and piston in it on that one cylinder, and then throw it the square body and still freaking thrash the thing down the street.
Oh yeah.
But I really can't complain with that motor. That thing has that motor's had 9 lives, and I used every bit.
Oh, for sure. And dude, like, it's still a Gen 3, like a stock
Yes.
Gen 3 block. Like,
Yes.
nothing fancy. We didn't gap the rings at all. Like,
And
and we upped that's another thing. We upped the boost,
We
like,
did.
big time, right? Like, we had low timing, but we wanted, that's the thing. I added another fuel pump to my car. So right now I'm running 2 AEM 400s. I still have the Deca 80s, but I turned my car up to 23 pounds. That's scary. And you're the same.
I was at 22 the last
Yeah,
time.
you're same deal. It's like the same amount of boost. And honestly, we did some testing the day before once we got down to Kentucky and on the street. Like,
Yeah.
dude, it was too much for the street.
No,
Like, to be
yeah,
honest, it was
seriously.
like sketchy. We're like, man, we're gonna run good times, but
Well, then talk about 9 lives in my motor, like the struggle street I was on when we first arrived.
oh, for sure, yeah, he had.
That's another life I used on that motor.
So we're on our dude. Like, don't get me wrong. LS Fest was great. It's always the trip there and the trip back that give us problems.
Yeah,
I feel
it
like.
does.
So on the way down there, it stormed 3 different times.
It did, and it was pretty bad.
3 different times, like terrible.
Like it wasn't
And
light storms.
so Austin we didn't even think about it. He didn't put a bag or anything over his turbo, and
I had
there
my
was
hood on.
so
I had
much
my
rain.
hood on.
He had his hood on, but
you
it
see
was
my
getting
car.
all that water like driving there, and we didn't even think about it because by the time we got to Kentucky, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Didn't even think twice. So he gets his car off the trailer. You backed it off the trailer, it was fine, right?
And I fired it up, and it fired up fine. I backed it off the trailer, and it was fine. It was idling there for like a good, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I made a change on a 2-step. That's all I did. I remember freaking out because I thought I did something to it with the 2-step. And went to do a 2-step test. And the second I hit the throttle, it just fell on its face. And the way that it shut off, it like, I heard like a shkoom, like
It died. It was
like
dead.
It just
It was dead
completely
for a
locked
minute.
up. I'm like, what the heck was that? So yeah, I hydrolocked my motor with water in it because think of me trying. Good catch there. You just took that right.
Did
out
you
of
see
the
it? I
air.
just killed a
You guys
mosquito.
didn't see that, but he just went like.
He was
just grabbed
coming
the
for a
mosquito.
vengeance, and I just destroyed his life.
So anywho, yeah, so I hydrolocked my motor, and because obviously we'd be getting into a little bit of gas, it just sucked it up into the intake, and I couldn't start it for a good 10, 15 seconds because it wouldn't even turn over.
Yeah.
And then finally it got free, and it was a struggle bus trying to get the thing to get all the water out of it and let it get hot, evaporate it, and then finally we went for a drive actually. After we got it running and for a little while it was actually doing better, we went for a drive and it cleared up the more I drove it. We went down to I think we went down to get something to eat or something, and then we came back, and the next morning I couldn't even start the car out. I thought it was tune related. We were scrambling trying to figure out. I'm like, I'm supposed to go to tech in 5 hours, and here I am, and my car didn't even run. So we're scrambling trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Long story short, ended up being a map sensor that fried because it got water in it.
Yeah, you pulled the map sensor out and it was dripping.
Yeah, I pulled the map
dripping
sensor
in
out.
water. That's how much water got in his intake.
It was pretty
Just flooded everything pretty much.
pretty bad.
But I mean, thinking back on that storm, yeah, it was pretty bad. But that's like the last thing you would expect.
No, I
is
really
it just to
didn't think-
fill everything and kill all that?
I didn't think that much
kill
water
the
would
sensor
get
even.
in there. It was like, okay, so luckily I had bought another map sensor and brought it with me, so that was my saving grace. Because it was a LS9 supercharger map sensor. Who's gonna have that just in stock at an auto parts store? And if they do, it's gonna be like $130 to something, which apparently the IX sensor is like that much money from O'Reilly's. So, and then also my TPS sensor is what fried too. I also got water into it. So water.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, water's not good in these.
Water's not good. So I ended up replacing the TPS sensor, which O'Reilly's had, and then I was good. But we were scrambling just to get the thing figured out before getting it to tech.
Yeah, it was rough.
So
it was all good, but man, if we had a little more prep time, that would have been great. I honestly wanted to run again, but I was just I was so anxiety overridden just because of what was leading up to that. My car didn't pass tech the first time. I had to replace the belts because they were expired. Luckily, he had a passenger belt in his car that wasn't expired, so I used that in my driver's seat. And then I needed a battery tie down. We didn't have anything, so luckily my brother was there, MacGyver, and we used what? What did you have? A gas tank strap.
gas tank strap.
That's right.
Square body.
So that's what we used for my battery tie down. Rush to tech. They pass the car. Yes, bonus. Then I get back trying to get ready. But on top of that, I didn't have a helmet. I didn't have a jacket. So he had to run, rush back, give me the helmet and jacket. I had to hop in line. Dude, it was
hectic.
rough. It was hectic. And
But
I
it was a
honestly,
fun
after
hectic,
it was
though.
fun hectic. After my pass, I was geeked because it was man, that car was moving. I picked up 33 mile an hour from the 8th to the quarter, and that was moving. And I was just all right, I'm good with that. I don't need to try to set the world on fire. I don't need to make my 10 pass, my 9 pass, whatever. We have all the time in the world to do that. Yeah. So, and speaking of that, it's mid-September?
Yeah.
We don't have that much time, but we would love to figure out what's going on with his engine. throw whatever we need to in there, and go to the track at least one more time this year because now we kind of got the itch.
Yeah,
big
we got
time.
the itch.
It's just, man. We haven't even touched our car since we got back because we've had problems with.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. We just got another one out of here. That's the truck that I took to LS Fest that the brakes completely disintegrated on the way back. Well, I made it here, but that's a long story. This is my boss's Jeep that he bought, and we had this towed here just before we left for our trip. Just found out tonight that has no compression on cylinder 1. That's a fun time. And then what else is down there? Oh, I think it's just 52 in the Camaro. But it's been just help. Oh, my truck.
Your truck.
My daily.
Yes.
Yeah, had a misfire from hell that I couldn't track down. Ended up being the ground strap going to the back of the head that was like half frayed. And
Oh,
just,
that was that? It wasn't a fuel pump?
fuel pump.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Even though you wanted that Walmart.
I already had the fuel pump out. Like,
Oh, you did?
had everything out. I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought a Walbro 450 for that for when we turbo it, boys, but not yet. So, jeez, yeah, it's
mom's
just,
Blazer?
it's been a week. My mom's Blazer had to do brakes on that this week.
Yeah.
So, no,
It's
it's
been a
been
long
not,
week.
hasn't been fun. Because we really wanted to immediately jump back onto this because
not
we
that
got all the
far.
parts. We got all the parts except the brake
do.
lines.
Yeah.
Like our fuel system is 100% buttoned up. I got body mounts for this inside because all these are destroyed.
Yeah.
Our biggest thing was the fuel, and I feel like we did that.
That's already done.
That's already done. All good.
All we have to do at this very moment is brake lines and
Drive shaft.
drive shaft. Drive shaft.
I've had the drive shaft paid for almost 2
You
weeks.
just gotta pick it up.
I just gotta go pick it up. That's how busy we've been.
Yeah.
I've had a drive shaft built, paid for 2 weeks, and I haven't had time to pick it up.
I've been so busy. It's the first time I've been over here since LS Fest.
I know! It's stupid! It's stupid!
We have been a little bit nutty lately,
Yep.
but we'll get there. We'll get
So I know it's a lot to throw at everybody, and such a long time frame from our last video too. There's
Yeah.
lots of stuff we still
There's a
gotta
lot
go
of
over, but
recapping.
that's our recap for this video.
Yeah.
I'm
sure
this
there's
week
things we missed.
I'll probably honestly the next video I really want to do on the teardown. We want to do a teardown on his engine and really figure out what the heck
What's
happened
going on.
and what we can save and if we could just
Yeah, 'cause, you
swap
know-
a new piston rod in. Because look at this. What do you got over there? What does Daddy got?
6 liter.
Got a 6 liter. What? And then what do I got? I picked up 4.8 people, and
Wait, where's the other one?
it's in a truck out back.
Oh.
And I got a truck out back with a 5.3 in it, perfectly running. Drove it home. It runs fine.
Wasn't there
completely.
2.48s though?
Oh, at Justin's house, and I got another 4.8 with 243 heads.
So, yeah,
What? But
we're
I
not
want to
worried-
do like
we're not worried
yeah,
about
I'm not worried
engines.
about it. So one of these, probably that one to be honest. I think it'd be cool to just get out of our comfort zone a little bit. Tear that down. I want to get good rods for it, and I want to get up the rings. So that's the plan for that engine. And I don't know what I'm going to put that in because here's the deal. After the track, we kind of want to focus on our cars. Like we like the builds and stuff, but man, we're
Our cars need
like
some attention.
our car. We realize what we need to do to our cars,
get
like to
'em
make them track worthy.
Competitive and make them good.
Street, they're fine, but at the track, we're like, okay,
Yeah.
I gotta do some safety stuff to my car for sure. But I want to get the trans built a little better. I need to put a drive shaft loop in there. I mean, it did good. I didn't have any problems with my car, but it's like, okay.
It's just safety stuff.
It's
though.
different
Just-
at the track. If you haven't been to the track, it's a lot different than just messing around on the street, for
Yeah.
sure. But I mean, we're not gonna lie to you. We're super green at that,
Oh, yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
we didn't make fools of ourselves, which I was totally planning on.
I mean, I did.
No, heck no,
I
dude.
mean, there was a
You
learning
made
curve.
5
There's learning
passes.
curves.
You hurt your car, and you didn't oil down the track. You're good.
There's learning curves to it, right? So
Learning curves.
There's a lot of things that staging process and whatnot.
Yes.
That I just
We'll have
more
20 more
practice
passes
on.
before we might get comfortable. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we got the bug, but it's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
test and tune. A lot of test and tune.
Yeah.
So
But we'll get there.
we'll get there. So, all right. I know it's a lot of ramble, but that's been our last few weeks. And our next video, we'll be tearing down Austin's 5.3 and
Yeah.
seeing what we did.
See what I did to it. Been Uncle
Flat bill.
Rodney?
We got flat bill.
I totally been Uncle Rodney.
Yeah, yep. Uncle Rodney's coming out to play. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you this week on the next video.
Sweet.